systems perform at their optimal when they're at 80% performance, not 100%. At 100%, they burn out. Quazi here. And in today's video, I want to share with you one of the biggest business epiphanies I've had in a very, very long time that's helped me get unstuck from a business revenue plateau that I've been stuck at for over a year. So if you're someone who's stuck at a revenue barrier in your business, and you find that you've tried so many things and you haven't been able to get unstuck, this video might just do it for you. So stick around to the very end of this video. I'm really excited to get started with this. Before I get started, I want to quickly announce you can access our brand new bootcamp that I made for you. It's down on the pinned comments below. So you can click on that link and you'll also get access to our exclusive email list where I can honestly share stuff that I can't share on the YouTube channel because of the platform's limitations. So scroll down, click on that link. You'll be taken to a page where you can enter your first name and your email address, and you'll get access to all the bonus materials that I can share with our list. So without further delay, let's go right ahead and get started with this video. Today's video will be about a business epiphany, not just about like reality creation, although there will be lessons that I've learned, the principles that I've learned that help me apply it to the business to help it grow. Now, over the last couple of years, I've been on a project of where I went from doing everything on my own. I was taking all of the sales calls and consultation calls, doing all the coaching, running all the ads, doing pretty much the traction, the conversions and service delivery all on my own. And that's kind of taxing because I was working 12 hours a day for like 6 days a week. But I mean, it wasn't too bad, right? I was generating like 100, 150K a month just by myself, taking phone calls every day and closing clients and getting them results, just doing all of that on my own. But I realized that was my operational capacity. I couldn't grow past 150K a month on my own. I needed to have a team. I needed to get help basically to do it. So over the past couple of years, I've been on a project of hiring salespeople, hiring coaches, and just seeing like if they kind of see eye to eye with my vision and if I can train them. And I've finally come to a great spot right now where there's a lot of consistency. I've made a lot of mishires, a lot of interviews, not getting enough prospective hires. And, I've come to a point where everything is consistent now, and I really have the foundations to grow. I'm going to knock on wood because, anything can happen at any time. But even though I was, doing everything on my own and I still had hires, I realized that I made a huge mistake that kept me stuck at 100K a month. So even when I hired that first rep, I was still stuck at 100K a month because of my limiting beliefs. Okay, and I'm going to get right into that in a second. And that kept me stuck at 100K a month when I know I could have grown much quicker if I'd just gotten out of my way, out of my stubborn ways and my stubborn beliefs, and just done the things that I needed to do. The stubborn belief that I had was I believed in pushing a system to its limit before you work on expanding capacity. What I mean by that is I believed that I should have gotten every rep, the one rep that I had, gotten him to full capacity before I can hire another rep. And why this was a problem was because I realized something really important when I was watching this interview with Tiger Woods. So recently I've been getting into golf, and I've been obsessively watching athletes who are really good at it, just in sports in general, like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. And there was an interview with Tiger who, the guy was like, oh, Tiger, how do you swing? Why are you going like this? Why are you doing this? What's that movement? And one day, Tiger was like, yeah, I never swing at 100%. I'm always swinging at 80%. And the interviewer asked him, why do you do that? Why not swing at 100% every time? He's like, well, if you swing at 100%, then there's a higher likelihood that things can go wrong. And golf is a game of misses. It's not a game of perfection. So that's why he always swings at 80%. From this, I learned that every single system will never ever... So this is the rule that I learned, and I like to call this the 80% rule, okay? And what I learned was that systems perform at their optimal when they're at 80% performance, not 100%. At 100%, they burn out. At 80%, it's that perfect balance of where they're fulfilled, they're engaged, they're excited, but also they're achieving the maximum output from any work that they're doing. So that's the 80% rule. But if I could better put it, I would say that a system never rises to its maximum capacity. It always falls to its standards. And most systems have a standard at 80%. So when I was doing the sales calls and I was closing 150K a month and I had reps who couldn't close 150K a month, I was like, well, I can't hire someone yet. I need to train this person to get to 150K a month before I can hire someone. And that was a huge limiting belief. And that was a huge hindrance for me because I couldn't see how me not hiring someone else was actually causing this person to stay stuck at their comfort zone. Because maybe, I don't know, if I hired someone and they were performing better, then this person would also raise their performance because they would say, hey, wait a second, someone else is performing better. And then it would create a competitive spirit, which is basically what's happening now. And I'm going to get right into that after what happened after I hired someone else to take calls as well. So my limiting belief was that I should fill this person up and train this person to be the best before I can bring someone else in. And that kind of belief, that kind of rigidity also kept me stuck at like 100 and 150K a month doing everything on my own. Because I was like, oh, I don't want to hire someone. I know there's a lot of room for me to grow, and a lot of things for me to learn on my own. But the pain of doing everything over and over again, not being able to take a vacation, and if I took a vacation, I couldn't just delegate anything because I had no one to delegate to. So revenue would literally stop coming if I wasn't present at the business because everything was reliant on me, right? So that kind of rigid black or white thinking is what kept me stuck doing everything on my own. And yeah, I was making good money, but I wasn't making the kind of money that I wanted or the kind of freedom that I wanted, which is what I basically have right now, right? So that's what I learned from that interview with Tiger Woods, where he said, I only swing at 80%. And that's the 80% rule, where every single system will never ever rise to its maximum capacity. It will fall to its lowest standard. So I want you to remember that because this will help you make better decisions from now on. So what does this really mean? Like, what was the epiphany that I had for my business that changed everything, that it's allowing us to have a revenue record month this month? Well, instead of having that reliance on, all right, I'm going to solve the lead flow problem, instead of trying to get as many leads as I can so that I'm happy and I feel comfortable hiring someone, I went ahead and hired someone else right now, because I saw that this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. This person could be a great fit for our business. And, I just went ahead and hired him. And now what's happening, what's interesting, is that even though we have the same amount of leads as before, and I'm spreading them evenly, the 2 reps that I have, they have a certain standard of performance. So they're going out and getting their own leads. They're doing outbound and, because they have a standard of performance and a standard of commission. So they're doing everything that they can to earn their own income. And this is actually leading us to getting to a revenue record. So what's happening right now is these 2 reps that I have are, they're performing to their core standards, not rising it to their maximum capacity. Another interesting thing, so I'm going to write this down. So the action that I took, hire before I was ready. And again, this is relevant to my business based on this principle, the 80% rule principle that I just shared with you. Action, hire, rep before ready. Quote unquote ready. Because you'll never be ready. This is a perfectionist tendency. And the outcome is outcome number 1, reps falling or performing at their standards. At standard. The second outcome, and this is the most interesting one. When I had just 1 rep before, I only had to worry about filling up 1 calendar. Okay, so all of my marketing efforts, the emails that I sent, the social posts that I did, the videos that I made, the ads that I ran, they were all catered to filling 1 person's calendar. Now that I have 2 reps, I have to worry about filling 2 people's calendars. So my activity, I'm starting to get more efficient at my activity and focusing more on things that generate more results rather than just, willy-nilly just trying some different thing that I know probably won't work. So my actions are not only getting more efficient, my actions are getting efficient, and I'm also motivated to perform, to act more. Motivated to act more. So what happened to me after I hired my first rep was I had so much free time because that was the only thing that consumed a lot of my time. Like I was on the phones for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and I only had 2 hours left to do other things, right? Like for service delivery, for making videos, etc. And like I would take a whole day off to do all of those things and just batch them up. But because the sales calls took such a long time, once I delegated them, I had so much free time, I didn't know what to do. I started playing golf. Like the whole of last year, I could finish everything that I needed to do to fill up one person's calendar in basically like an hour a day. So I was living the 4-hour work week for a very long time, and I had more time available to work on projects for the business to help it move forward, which is a great place to be. But I didn't feel as motivated as I am now to fill up someone's calendar and to move forward. So the chances are, if you feel like you're stagnating in your business, it's because you've been doing the same thing over and over again. It's not interesting for you. That's why you feel bored, right? And that's why you're stuck, because the life energy is missing. In order to get that injection of life energy, you got to do something different and put yourself in uncomfortable situations like hiring someone new and having responsibilities towards them, right? To training them, to helping them grow, to helping them become better in the business. So when I did this, these two consequences happened, and the greatest consequence is we're literally on track to hitting a revenue record month. So we're on track to doing 200K a month, and I've never been able to go past 150K a month. It's not that I've been focusing much, because my goal was always to have consistency, and we've been consistently at 80 to 120K a month. But now, this month, we're on track to doing 200K in revenue. So consequence, the greatest consequence, 200K a month. And I realized that when you have one rep has the capacity, max capacity, to do 120K a month. And they're going to perform at 80% of that, if that, right? So most of our reps were closing around 80 to 100K a month. And on their best month, they would do 120. But now that you have 2 reps, they're going to rise to their standards. And maybe their standards are 80K a month. And 2 of them at 80K means 160K, right? So obviously there's a balance to this. I'm not going to go out and be like, all right, I'm going to hire another rep just so I can fill up that person's calendar. No, that doesn't really align with our company vision, because we don't want to let too many people into our program, because we have a cap. We have a monthly cap of how many people we're willing to work with so that we can get them the best results. And once we meet that cap, we just stop enrollment for the month and have a wait list. But this is one of the key lessons that I've learned, which brings me to the key lesson for you to implement in your business, which is create more capacity for growth. Instead of trying to maximize what you already have, just create room for more capacity. And this is what I tell people. When you want to achieve a revenue goal of, let's say, 100K a month, aim for 150K a month, right? So whatever goal you have, multiply it by at least 1.2. So if you want to get to 100K a month, aim for 120K a month or something similar. And when you aim for the stars, you land at the moon. I knew this a long time ago, but I was never able to internalize it and apply it this way in my business. So if you find that in your business right now, you're using maybe one marketing channel and it's, you've sort of maximized it, and you'll know you've maximized it because you've been doing it for a very long time and this is what you've been stuck at. Maybe it's time to introduce another lead flow channel, right? And a lot of people are worried about shiny objects, but I can tell you that because I was so rigidly focused on the one thing and I got rid of shiny objects so much, I was getting bored and uninterested. And I also, capped out everything that we were doing. And when I introduced some shiny objects and a little bit of chaos, like maybe going into YouTube ads, like maybe introducing a new product, which we did this month, our new mastermind, then I started to get more interested and our capacity grew as well. So if you think that, all right, I'm charging like 3K for my product and I want to do 100K a month with 3K, but you've been seeing that you only get 20 clients a month and you want to raise your revenue, well, maybe change your product price to 4K, because then your average unit price rises as well, right? So it makes it much easier for you to do 100K a month with a 4K product than a 3K product. Do you see what I mean? So this is what I mean when I say you got to raise your capacity. Give yourself potential, give yourself a greater potential rather than trying to maximize your existing potential, because you'll always fall to the level of your standards rather than rise to the level of your capacity. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. With that, I conclude this. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this. This was a different kind of video. I really freestyled this and I just wanted to share some of the lessons that I've learned in my business. I don't really make videos like this, like where I share my personal life, personal story, personal business. I always talk about reality creation and manifestation because I always felt like that's what you guys are interested in. So if you like this, if you want to see more content like this, please just let me know in the comment section below. I'll always take that into account. And I always read those myself. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. If you'd like to work closer together with me and my team in our flagship Reality Mastery program, you can apply for that. So the link for that is in the description box below. You'll click on a link, fill up a short survey, and take a call with one of our team members to see if we're a good fit to work together. And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And also, our free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.